Hello Planning Mashers and welcome back to yet another video. Today we are talking about using printables in your bullet journal. Printables are a great way to try out different pages, to cut down the time you spend on setting up your pages, and just generally have a pretty and aesthetic journal without spending too much time and effort on it. But there are a lot of questions. How do you print them out to make sure they fit well? How do you decorate them? What kind of supplies you need to use printables? This and more is all we're going to be discussing today. Let's start with printing. There are two different ways you will get your printables. You either will get them already in an A5 size, which is the way you can find them in my free resources vault, in my shop, or on my Patreon. Or you can get them in any other size. So you will need to do a little bit of effort to make sure that they fit your journal. Now, most of the examples I'll be giving here are about an A5 size. And this is because A5 is the most commonly used size for a bullet journal. So before you follow any of these instructions, just make sure what size your notebook actually has, because it also might be, for example, a B5 size, which is a little bit larger. Okay, so in case your printable came in an A5 size, this is what you do. Once you are ready to print, make sure you note that you want your printer to do the actual size. Default setting for printables is fit to page, and that will just print your printable the size of the paper you're using, which is probably something larger like an A5 or a US letter page. So all you need to do is to tick actual size and it will be printed perfect for an A5 size to fit your journal. Now, in case your printable came in any different type of size, there is a little bit of change you'll need to do. Basically, you'll need to go to your printer settings and make sure that the paper is set to the size you want it to print. So for example, my printing paper is a US letter, but the printable, I want it to be an A5 size to fit my journal. So I go to printer settings and I check that I want it to be an A5 size. And then just double check that your settings say fit and you are ready to go. It will all be printed in the exact size you need for your journal. And one more important thing I wanted to mention. If you are planning to decorate your journal, to use some of your markers and brush pens, be sure you use high quality paper. Trust me, that's what happened with my first To Doodle brush pen. I used just normal paper to print out some of the lettering worksheets, and in the end, the paper actually damaged my brush pen until it became unusable. So the same might happen to you if you are planning to use any of your markers or brush pens on top of your printables. So please make sure that you're using some high quality paper, and you can check the description for recommendations. Now that it's printed, the next step is to make sure it fits your journal. And this is how you do it. First of all, you need to cut it out. You can just use any pair of scissors you have, but I prefer using a paper cutter because it allows you to have straighter edges to your printables, so it kind of looks better. Next thing you might want to consider is if your journal corners are rounded, you might want to do the same with your printables. In this case, I will be just using scissors to round my corners, but there are some paper punches that will allow you to do the same significantly faster and probably with a much straighter edge. So you can check that out in the description. There are plenty of links there, by the way, on free printables, on different supplies you might use. So be sure to check it once you're done with the video. Okay, you did it. You have a printable that fits perfectly your journal. How do you actually add it to your journal? Well, there are two options. You can use a glue stick or you can use an adhesive tape. Personally, I prefer using an adhesive tape because it's significantly cleaner than using any type of glue. Plus, there's definitely no damage coming to your journal or the printables. And that's it. The printable is there. Now to the fun part of actually decorating the page. Every printable is different, but you have some techniques you can do to make sure it fits you, your style, and your aesthetics. So just pick your favorite pens, some washi tapes, and any other type of stationery you like using and get to be creative. And that's it. Just like that, you have a beautiful, ready-to-use page right in your bullet journal with minimal effort. And again, before I go, be sure to check all the links in the description for supplies recommendations and some fun places where you can get free printables for your journal, and enjoy. And remember, keep bullet journaling and don't be a blob. Bye!